So hi guys, welcome back again. It was an enthralling game. I'm sure we're just all catching our breaths after that remarkable finish. Another high-scoring game, but I was proved wrong again. Betty was right. Peshawar won the game, and Quetta got so close. So just to give you a quick, obviously, recap of the scores. Peshawar won the toss. Obviously, chose to bowl first. Quetta obviously put up a real good show. Again, 198. Safraz is on fire. He got what was it? He got 80 odd runs and he got help from Azam as well. 198 seemed like a very good score. Peshawar didn't get off to a great start. I'm looking after 4 overs, they were 27 for 2, so it wasn't great. But they kept on getting crucial contributions throughout. Imam 41 off 30 balls, Heather 50 off 28, Malik 34 off 20. Sure, Malik chipped in, as I said before, and Rutherford at the end, and the big 2 6s from Wahab Riaz to pretty much clinch the game in the 19th over. And we had a horrendous delivery by Hasnain in the last over, but the game was pretty much completed by then. So that's the analysis, and knocked it off with about 3 balls to go. So, Betty, what do you think? What's your overriding feeling of that game?
At this moment in time, as Safraz would do this, what does that guy have to do to get a win, baby? What does he have to do, I literally, you know what? He's tried everything in the book. You know what?
It's
you know what you said. It was the tale of two keepers today, baby. One going home happy, and one almost going home happy, and he's going home sad. And it's mad. You know what? You called it today, and I sat there at half time thinking, you know what? Boba's gone against the odds. Yeah. He's called the first one, and this could be like, a day and night match. Normally, you get the team back a second, but no, surprises. Put 199 on. I thought, obviously, you've given the match summary there. I thought even in the last over, they probably could have got 10 more, and then runs were cost them because Saki bowled a good last over. Yeah. And you know what? The first day, everyone was criticizing Safraz. I don't know where to start, but we'll talk about Safraz and his captaincy and all the heat surrounding him. Guy batted class. I mean, the guy got 80 or 40 odd balls. It wasn't a good start. Who got out early? Russo got out early, and who's the other opener?
No, not Russo. So Del Porto was got out early, and the left-hander, I don't know what name is.
Oh, the young lad. He got out. Run out, was it?
There were two down pretty early, and then it's Faf du Plessis. Good to see him back.
Faf batted well. Played a few shots. Rolling back the Chennai years, and
now he's retired from Test cricket, he can fully focus on the T20 and making his money. But
yeah, he looked okay. I mean, considering he just come out of quarantine, he looked good. And then Azam batted extremely well, and took on everybody. That 60 hit Wahab. Oof,
that was a biggie. I thought, what, my neck was hurting. I was trying to watch the board going. I was like, what is happening? Why is this not coming down?
Just going, gone. And then Safraz just played beautifully. It wasn't even hit. It was just nice cricketing shots.
Yeah, the thing with Safraz is he's not a powerful batsman, and that's where the criticism has come in for him. Like he's not a big six-hitter, but it's like he was back at his best day, square of the wicket, using the pace, sweeping the ball,
playing spin really well.
Yeah,
playing spin really well.
He's always played spin well. Yeah.
At 199, I thought they would have got a bit more, but 199, Bobo, 10 and over, just under 10, you take that all day.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Take that. That's the most scored this year in PSL.
Yeah.
And you think definitely, team can defend this. I always had this doubt in my head because they haven't got their bowling hasn't clicked. And Safraz, a little bit of pressure, yeah, Bobo. But they started off really well. They got a couple of it. They got
as I said, they were 27 for 2 off 4. They got big wickets. So they got Kamran Akmal and they got Kohli Kadmore. Kamran Akmal, we know what he can do. And
Kamran Akmal wicket was perfect planning from Safraz. It looked like everything was working for him. He took the man back. He took the man back onto the boundary and he set him up and it was beautiful and everything was going well for him. And then you know what? All it took was, it was literally, I don't know what, seriously, and I was saying it off air, yeah, in other groups, I was saying Pakistan is renowned for its bowling, Bobo, yeah? Real good quality bowling, whether that be up front, swinging, seaming, or whether that be at the death with its Yorkers, yeah? but the skill set doesn't seem to be there. Not just only with Quetta, with a lot of teams, Bobo, they're missing the mark. I don't know whether that's small boundaries or something, Bobo, but
I don't think so. I don't think we can blame the boundaries because we've seen tournaments before, even grounds like Sharjah, where the boundaries are a lot smaller and the bowlers have held sway. I think it's like a generic international thing now, where with T20, with the batsmen being so versatile, they can score 360. The bowlers are in a way that they've confused themselves. They're not sure whether to bowl Yorkers, other stumps, bowl wide Yorkers, bowl length, bowl short. And in the end, when these guys are running in, these bowlers, I don't think they know where they want to bowl it or what they should do. Like,
I mean, if it was the thing is, but if it was an inexperienced person, you can kind of think, okay, fair enough. Wahab has got to be the most luckiest captain. 2 games now, he's gone over 50. His performance has been terrible, but his team have won, and he'll get swept under the carpet. But you know he's not bowling well. But when you got likes of Wahab missing his length, you've got likes of Shinwari who's played Pakistan. You've got Hasnan, this so-called big sort of, there was a big thing of surrounding him. You've got him missing his length. You've got Steyn, who's a legend. Him missing his length.
Steyn's been struggling for a while, and even at the end of his, when he was playing IPL, he was getting pretty much hit.
When I mean legend, obviously I'm talking about his past. I know he's coming to the end of his career, but still, then Hasnan, what he did that last, that wide. You've got Ben Cutting, who's an experienced campaigner. You had Anwar that day. It's not just one. I mean, Nawaz bowled well, but the thing is, I think Safra's got it wrong there. He only bowled him 2 overs. Yeah.
Yeah, but his is again. You got at the moment. Then you got to look at the situation where he's bowling the spinners now. He's thinking, okay, I can't save the spinners too much near the end of the innings, especially with Rutherford. He's got their left-hander with Nawaz, and then he's just thinking that at the time that with the ball, with it being hard to grip, that maybe you're right. He should have got the spinners overs out early, out the way, very early. Full overs.
I understand he can't bring them on at the end. That's fine, but I know that, and that's fair enough. But I actually feel sorry for him because you know what? He was quite calm initially, but then afterwards, everything. Look, as a bowler, you're a captain. When you set a field, you bowl to a plan. If they can't execute a simple plan, bowl to the offside. And it was wayward, and it was all the way till the end, Bobo. They actually had the game, even sort of,
To be honest with you, I've got it written down. For me, the big turning point in the second innings was they got 2 early wickets, right? After 5 overs, they got it under control. Because normally we say when you're chasing 200, you want a good power play as a batting team. So after 4 overs at 22, the 6th over of the power play, Hasnain comes on. When the pressure's on Peshawar, he gives, I think, 25 runs, I think, nearly in an over. Straight away from there on, it was going to be difficult for Quetta to pull it back in terms of they knew they had to get wickets because of the firepower Peshawar had. And it got proven today, as I said, Imam, Haider, Malik, Rutherford, Wahab, they had so much power hitting that guys that can come in and get a quick 20, 30. That over set them back so much, and it gave Peshawar that platform back in the game. And I never felt like really they pulled it back from there. They got it back to a stage where they needed 68 off 6 overs when Heather got out, but I still never felt like it was going to be enough. Like Quetta were going to be able to pull it back.
I think what we've realized in this PSL, especially with the grounds and the size of them, 12s and 13s, if they go later on, if you need 30 off 3 overs, even if you need 35 off 3 overs, let's just say, I think it's well within reach because it's just a few hits.
We have to look at I think we have to look at IPL standards now again, because IPL is similar where 12, 13, 14 is changeable. We're Pakistan supporters. We've watched previous editions of PSL, and for us, 10 and over, 12 and over is still a lot of runs. But now I think we've got to move on with our own mentality and think of it as the new 10, 12 is the old 8, 9 now. So teams can actually.
I think the death bowling has got a lot to do with this as well, but I think PSL is generally renowned for bowling quality. It's got very good bowlers. Renowned for, but I don't see that in this year. I see good youngsters, but I see their head can easily go. Then I've got guys that have got things on their mind, whether they're making comebacks or whether there's pressures. Even Sohail Tanvir, for example, everywhere I see Wahab Riaz, these guys are good bowlers. They're known for good death bowling. Whether they're at the end of their career, but their skill set should be there. And I feel that it's not, if it's a one-off, but you can understand, but it's a couple of games now, and it's actually quite worrying.
It started off like first couple of games with low scoring, but someone with Wahab Riaz, we don't want to get too technical on here, but it doesn't make sense to me. The guy still gets up to 140 clicks. He's bowling left arm over to right-handers to someone like Safraz and these guys. And Safraz is not a guy that's gonna hurt you too much down the ground over mid-wicket, but he's got like third man up. And all Safraz is doing is using the pace. Now, it doesn't make sense to me that Wahab is actually trying to bowl wide outside the off stump. So it doesn't make sense to me why he would have the no third man. It doesn't make, like, what's he meant to do? Like, where's Safraz going to hit the ball? Where is it going to go? It just.
But talking about that quickly and rather than get too technical, like you said,
Yeah.
Wahab as captaincy, bro. Why do they always say, bro, bowlers don't make good captains? And it kind of, I know sometimes you say, well, that can't be true, but if you look throughout history, bro, in any format, there's actually, apart from a good all-rounder like Imran Khan, we can say, but an out-and-out bowler, I don't know many good captains. Why is that? Is that just, am I looking too much into it or what?
No, I don't think if you're looking back at history of cricket and then there's not been many, that just shows you it's not like a coincidence. For me, what the biggest thing is, what you need to do is you need to take a step back as a captain when things are going on, and sometimes things are happening very quickly, and rather than just quickly rushing in trying to change something quickly, you need to take a step back, think about what's happening, think about your options. And normally as a captain, one of those options is usually not you. So that way, there's clarity is there. You're not thinking about your own performance that way. As a bowler, I think you're always juggling the fact that what you need to do, but then you're always trying to put yourself in that equation, and all that together, it muddles you up. It's too confusing. Like, I can't imagine myself as a captain. People say I was decent, whatever, but I can't imagine myself having to think about when am I going to bowl and when am I going to bowl the others. It's just too confusing.
You were a bowler, bro. You were a bowler.
That's what I'm saying. I just can't imagine it. I just can't imagine myself being in that position, and it'd be too difficult, I reckon. And also, the thing with T20 cricket is that every ball
You were difficult to deal with as a keeper.
As a keeper, I think is ideal, especially in T20 cricket, that you can see the angles.
You see it, of course.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the big things is that you have to be such a fast thinker in T20 cricket. You have no time to kind of let it go. And as a bowler, I just think there's so much pressure on you, just on your own bowling, on your own plans. Then to have the pressure of everyone else and tactics, I think it's too difficult. And that's one of the main reasons why bowlers don't make good captains, even though they might have it in them.
No. What do you think too, Heather Ali? Got to mention him. What do you think? What or not?
No, Heather Ali, again, it's not surprised me. Sometimes I'm a little bit.
There's always a question on his. There's always a question, but on his consistency. There's always been a question on his consistency in the sense that he does it, comes in, hits a few, gone. Couple of boundaries.
That's what I was telling you. I think one of the early, I'm not sure if it's the last, the one we did recording, that's why I was so happy with Hafiz, that he is scoring at a strike rate of 180, 200 without taking risks. Now, Haider for me is a typical Pakistani player in terms of, yes, he attacks, but his risk ratio to the way his game plan is so risky. And T20 is also a game where it's difficult to be consistent anyway, that he's going to be, if he does 1 in 5, I'm very happy. 1 in 5 is not when potentially could win you World Cup if he pulls it off in the semi-final or final. But he's not a guy that when you're looking down and you're judging performances, you can get a stats book and say, oh, look, he's only averaging 20, 25. He's going to be one of those where you just look at, in the last 10, 15 games, how many games has he won? And if he's won you 2 or 3 games, you've got to be happy with him. Later on, with experience, he might improve with that shot selection and just, bring down that risk.
Yeah, he actually batted really maturely. He actually batted very maturely today.
Today he did, but there was some shots that did come off, and I thought, okay, in this situation, would I expect? I know it's tough to compare; it's too high.
Very strong down the ground. It's a good shot.
And the way he holds the pose, the way he gets underneath and he just holds it when he gets in that position, is exceptional talent. But as I said, we shouldn't be putting too much pressure on him in terms of consistency. As long as he puts in those match-winning performances, we should be happy with it. And we've got the likes of Babar Azam, Hafiz, Malik. These guys are the ones that are going to be more consistent. We shouldn't be trying to rein him in. So I'm very happy the way he plays. And yeah, again, full credit to him. And we've got to give credit to Imam, as I said, he held it together well as well. He probably got out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of talk, and I've seen on mainstream media as well, but yeah, a lot of people have been criticizing him, saying, oh, he's playing for himself, he's averaging his strike rate is about 110, hovering over 120. But the fact that I feel that he's set the game up, he's put the base up, and what's happening with Zalmi, I don't know if they've sort of if it's coincidentally it's happened, but Imam takes the reign, he sets the platform. Then Shoaib Malik comes in, kind of sets that platform, and they all kind of have a role in the sense, because if I looked at, I'll be honest with you, I looked at that Peshawar Zalmi batting lineup today, and I thought Wahab at 7, and then you've got a long tail of Majib and these guys. And I thought, no, you know what? If they get a couple of early wickets, there's no chance. But the fact that Malak, I think it was at the strategic timeout, I think it was after the 13th over, I think it was, or the 14th, I think it was when they took it. And he kind of says, look, we see this out to the 15th. We've got 5 overs. We know what we can get from there.
The
And it was almost,
with Malik's
all his experience.
He's got the, as you said, he's got the experience, and T20 is a game now. You know how, like before, people said it would just go in there, whack it, that kind of thing. No, it's not. It's a very tactical game now. And with experience, these guys can quickly work out, the top players, like equations. They work backwards rather than us guys working forwards. These guys work backwards and think, okay, how many are we going to leave in the last 4 overs, 3 overs, 2 overs? And they work back from that, and then that's how they calculate. It's a very mathematical game. Imam, as I said, I am going to agree with the critics. I do sometimes think that he doesn't assess the situation and puts the team in more trouble sometimes because of his own kind of runs and average.
Both times he's gone out, but both times, again, it's almost like the point I'm making with Wahab is very lucky in the sense that his own performances got covered. And I think Imam, both innings that he's kind of done these sort of roles, both times they've won. So his team kind of bailed him out.
If it's worked, you can't. And as I said with the Wahab, the thing you can't do is you can never beat a lucky captain. And if Wahab's getting the look, first of all, with the tosses, and then he's getting away with his bowling performances, and today, look at it, people are talking more about his 2 sixes than his poor bowling, and he's got away with it again. Obviously, we can talk about Dale Steyn getting it wrong, not getting the ball in the right area. We've got to give credit for him for the blows, and he's getting lucky. And if he's getting lucky and the team's winning the games, and he's one of those guys that will turn it around. He's a bit like Heather's bowling version, even though he's experienced. He's one of those that could get 4 for 10 in a game, in a playoff game, and just get you through. So stick with him. He's a wicket taker, but you're right. He does need to improve what he's doing, including tactics.
Rutherford, quick little mention on Rutherford. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't know who he was, and one of my friends, he was saying, look, you know, this guy's dangerous. And I kind of thinking, no, who is this guy? I know he got picked for Mumbai, and I said to my mate jokingly, I said, you know what, nah, can't see this guy doing much. I think you've mistaken him for Hetmai and Puran, and I think he was actually playing for Karachi last year, and he was involved in the Super Over. My friend kind of remembered from there. He said, no, this guy can hit.
I don't remember him too much, to be honest with you.
I didn't remember him, but you know, my friend said this guy can hit, and he proved me wrong in the sense that, you know, he said he's capable of hitting. And I think it was his first or second ball, there was a big chance from Nawaz run out. I don't know if you saw that. And he could have actually walked in the stump. And they're the small little things, to be honest with you. But going back to the point, I mean, what does Sarfraz do? I mean, I can see a scenario where he's having a go at everyone, and everyone's kind of saying he's losing the dressing room. Do you think he might resign?
No, I think it's one of those things, like, you know, with the people watching on the TV sets, and they just think, okay, just because a guy is shouting and screaming, that just means that he's making the players nervous or they're struggling. It's one of those things. If they won the game today, then we would be talking about his batting and his exceptional knock. Now they've lost the game by a fine margin. We're going to start blaming or saying that is one of the key reasons is his behavior or he's losing the squad. He was the same with Pakistan, the same guy that won the Champions Trophy with the same tactics. They won a lot of test matches initially, obviously, with him as well, and then obviously went downhill for him. And the team did really well. You got to remember, he took Pakistan to the #1 T20 team, and they beat a lot of good sides, including Australia. They beat New Zealand away. Not many teams do that. And it's just one of the things now, when a team loses, people look for external things. I don't think this has got anything to do with it in terms of shouting and screaming. That's his personality. He was doing that back in under-19s when they beat India in that World Cup as well.
Has he always been the captain of Quetta?
Pretty much. I can't remember them having another captain. It must have been, yeah. Like, I can't remember another captain for that.
Here's an interesting fact here, Bobo.
Yeah.
This was the 4th highest chase in PSL, yeah?
Yeah.
Out of the 4 chases, 3 have all been against Quetta. So Quetta have lost 3 of the highest chases. Now, is there something in this?
No, I think there's a couple of them. I remember one, at least I was in Sharjah, and that was ridiculous. Like, the bowler was a soap. and the boundaries were like 55 yards, and there was an excuse that day. Today, I don't even though it was due. I don't think it was much of an excuse.
There wasn't much due. There wasn't much due today.
There wasn't much. There wasn't much, but
there was no due at all.
There was nothing.
If anything, but they changed the ball towards the end, which favoured the bowlers as well.
They did, but I think today was just a case of.
I think I'll put it down. I think he rotated his seamers to the best what he had, and I think every single seamer had a couple of bad balls in the over.
Yeah, I would say when they needed 27 of 2 overs, if Dale Steyn gives maybe even 12, 13 and over.
Looking back at it, but actually, he couldn't have. I was going to say, could he have given Hasnan the penultimate over, but he can't because he gave Hasnan the 18th over, didn't he?
No. Plus, even if I'm saying obviously he wasn't allowed to by the rules, but for me, always when the opposition need a lot of runs in 2 overs, I always give the better bowler the second to last over, hopefully finish the game.
Of course.
I think
he couldn't. He was hampered because he had to get both of his overs in.
So maybe again, I will look at the tactics and think to him. I would also, as a captain, be very. Today it didn't make much difference because I think the game was done in the last over anyway. But I'll be very wary of giving a young bowler the 18th and the 20th over in a T20 game, knowing that it could potentially be the same batsman and they've got their eye in. I think it's too much to expect from a young bowler, even though he has played for Pakistan. So he needs to maybe look at that for the future games. But in terms of look, I think Sarfaraz needs to win the toss, hopefully, and bowl first and have the opportunity to, chase the score down. And also, I think...
Sarfaraz's look, he might be the first one to book the trend.
No, and also, I think what it is T20 is a game of momentum. So if they can just win one game, and it's not all about it's a long-ish tournament, not too long. It's not about people.
I think to be honest, it's not all lost because he's got 7 games left to redeem himself, and it's getting into the top 4. I think the fact
4 to 5 out of the 7, and they could get into the top 4, and that's it. Anything can happen. And we've seen before in this type in the PSL where teams have scraped in. And the teams that have been winning.
Islamabad, the Islamabad did it in the first edition.
Yeah, and it's always happening. Nearly every tournament, you get one team that starts slowly.
It's not peaking at the right time. I think, like you said, you always see in many IPL sort of tournaments around. Many T20 franchise cricket that when you have these long league formats, the team that always wins the league necessarily doesn't always win the final. Yeah. I've known. I think it was in the Caribbean Premier League. I think it was Shoaib Malik's team had won all of them in a row, and it got to the finals and they lost. I think it's about peaking. I think we know that in tournament or event formats like these, it's about peaking at the right time.
You're right, and it's funny because people say, as I've just said, the momentum game. You would think that teams that's won a lot of the group games comes top. When they play against a team that's straight through, they should be favourites. But as we know, sport's a very mental game, and sometimes you're going into the game feeling more pressure because you've won those league games. And the team that sneaked in, they're in a way just happy to be there. They're fresh. They just play the cricket, express themselves, and a lot of the time it does turn out that the underdog wins. So as I said, it's early days, but the most important thing today was a really good game of cricket. It went to the wire. That's what T20 is about, and the fans must have enjoyed it at home, and the few that were at the ground. So
very good, very good.
More to come then, hopefully. Battery.
Quick mention on Azam, and then we'll talk about tomorrow's fixtures before we go. What do you think of Azam Khan? I mean, it was a good knock.
It was a good knock in terms of, once they took the wicket off Faf du Plessis, they would have thought, okay, we can control the situation here, maybe get another couple of wickets. He's come in, he seems to have a very free mind, which is very good considering obviously his dad is a coach as well. He's got a lot of ability, a lot of power, and today he showed some finesse as well, which is nice to see. Opening the face, little flicks over fine leg, 45 shots. So I think there's a lot to work with. The obvious question is the weight. I'm not that worried about the weight. As long as he can feel better than he is, I think there's a bright future for him. But yeah, so again, another one.
But I had many messages today. People said to me, who would win in a race? Him, me or Bob Azam?
I think no one would win the race. We would run out of time and none of you would finish. That's what I think would happen. The floodlights as it went in the test match would go out. We'll have to cut the race.
Look! I like your top, by the way. I noticed that earlier.
Oh yeah,
that brings back some memories.
It does. There are a lot of memories. Yeah, not too many. No, can't say too many on here, but yeah.
And I seen earlier on you had your bog top on as well.
Yeah, that was for one of our friends for us play indoor cricket with. So he loves his cricket as well. Maybe we can get him on the show one day when he's recovered from England's impressive loss.
So, I don't think he's recovered. I don't think he's recovered from England yet. Moving on.
The game's going on. It should be day 3 today.
Yeah. He's lost what to do for the next couple of days. Moving on to tomorrow, a couple of quick predictions, Bobo. Karachi, Multan, what do you look? How do you see that going, or what do you think?
Karachi, Multan. It's very tough one to call that, especially with it being a day game. That gets
Karachi coming off a loss. Karachi coming off a loss. Didn't they lose to Islamabad? And Multan won today, didn't they? Their first win.
Obviously, apart from the obvious one, we can't just keep on saying whoever's going to bowl first is going to win. So it's going to be tight. And maybe just going to go with Karachi. I think that Rizwan's due a failure.
I'm gonna call it tomorrow, Bobo. Whoever bats first tomorrow is going to win in the day match.
No, I think you might be right, and it's going to have to change soon as well. But in terms of not the toss taking it out, I think that it'd be interesting to see how Multan go if Rizwan falls cheaply. And
I was just going to say that he's due a failure, and kind of likes of Vince and sort of Afridi and Brathwaite. The lower order needs to be tested a bit.
I'm not confident in Brathwaite, Afridi, and these guys. To be honest, they've not done much in this tournament, and they've not done much for a while with the ball. So I think
the second game is the belter tomorrow, Bobo. Zalmi v Islamabad. That's going to be some fireworks in that one.
I think it's going to be again, a lot of people fancy Peshawar, but I'm actually fancying Islamabad. I was looking through the lineup the other day, and they've got a lot of proven international players now. Before they've always had two.
As you know, I've been Islamabad United from day one. You've been Islamabad United from day one, yeah. And
it's not biased. It's not biased.
I mean, everyone's kind of pinched out players. Babar Azam, Shajils. There's a lot of players that have gone to other franchises that were at us first, yeah. And I think the team that we've got this year, if you look at that list, a lot of good all-rounders. I was saying to a friend today early on, Baba, yeah. Shadab, all-rounder. Ifti, all-rounder. Talat, all-rounder. Fahim, all-rounder. Hassan, all-rounder. Asif Ali is the fifth leading, I read a stat today, fifth leading six-hitter as a Pakistani. I'm assuming that takes all the franchises.
Like Lewis Gregory. Lewis Gregory is domestic cricket in England.
I forgot. That shows you that's 6-7 quality. They've got, I think, Shadab used 7-8 bowlers that day.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me is when I watch Islamabad is that I think they've always gonna, most of the time they're gonna have either someone bowling or batting that can win the game. That is a match winner for them. They've got 5 or 6 match winners in that team. So whatever situation they get into, there is hope. So I'm very confident for them to do well tomorrow. And
what are you going to call that? What are you going to call that? I know it's tough. Who would you say is the stronger one out of them? To what you say? What are you going? I'm going for Islamabad.
Yeah, I'm going for Islamabad. I think others just don't repeat myself too much. They've got a lot of match winners, experienced match winners now, and T20 is all about that. Which can guys can win you a game when you're really up against it. So I'm favouring Islamabad tomorrow. I know quite a lot of Karachi fans out there, the AOI crew, that might not agree with me, but yeah, they are a good team. So yeah, I'm hoping Islamabad be the best team.
Guys, before we finish off, I know I don't want to sound boring, guys. We want to get our content out to everyone. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon to get our notifications. You don't want to be missing out on our shows. Any suggestions from you guys, how we can improve? Anyone wants to come on and be part of the show, by all means, messages. You've got our details.
Personal messages, and most of the people will know us personally, but you can just message on here, and any questions you got, as you say, Battery. And if you want us to talk about a particular topic, even if it is a bit controversial, linked to cricket, we'll say it. We're not, as we said, we're not linked to anyone. We're not scared to say anything. This is straight talk, and we'll just say as we think it is. We're not, we're not trying to please anyone with our views. So yeah, ask us, and whatever our opinion is, we'll just say how it is.
So look forward to your comments, guys, and thank you very much. Berber, I'll speak to you tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Bertie, as well. Yeah, and guys, enjoy the games tomorrow. So yeah, enjoy your weekend as well.
Enjoy the weekend, guys.